Hi, this is Steve Wanamaker. I'm publisher of CDO Magazine, and it is an honor to have everyone here today watching our interview. Would you be nice enough to give us your full name and tell us a little bit about your company?
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Diena Lee Mann. I'm founder and CEO of Spectio. So Spectio is a collaboration product that enables business stakeholders, business analysts, and data engineers to more efficiently co-produce BI outputs like datasets and dashboards. So specifically, Spectio helps manage the inputs such as requirements and outputs like a Tableau dashboard of BI workflows by unifying the communication, documentation, and prototyping of that work. So it's really designed for analysts at enterprises who regularly work with business consumers of data and with engineers who have to then deliver those data outputs.
Well, that sounds pretty exciting. And as I talk to about 700 CDOs a year from around the world, dealing with data, managing data, deploying data, driving value through data is core on the mind of senior data executives, everywhere. And when you think about your career has been working with data products, you have 2 degrees in statistics. How did Spectio come into being? As a founder of a company myself, it's always interesting to me how someone kind of gets that idea where they just a light bulb clicks on and they want to go do something. Tell us about your journey a little bit. How did this
Yeah.
come up?
Yeah, well, so in working with data products and data as a product over the years, I kept running into the same problem, which is that there's often a translation gap between business stakeholders and data or analytics teams. And so you might ask, well, so what? Well, so this problem makes it really difficult to deliver successful BI initiatives. And in fact, this was a key point of discussion at the last CDO Magazine Summit. And so business stakeholders have this challenge of communicating domain context and their data requirements in the ways that are actionable by their technical counterparts. Similarly, data teams often don't have adequate domain context and business requirements to be able to deliver successful data outputs. And then sometimes you have these business analysts who often sit in the middle, acting as translators between the two functions, with the expectation of having specific functional domain specialization and having to know a whole heck of a lot about the company's underlying data capabilities. And so this is a really big ask for any one role.
Mhm.
So after seeing customers struggle with this problem, discussing it over the years with data leaders and experiencing it directly myself, I decided to start Spectio to address this translation gap.
It's always outstanding when a practitioner, someone in the field, is doing work and they face a real challenge and they use their experience and leadership and create a product to make a difference. That first it was something that really helped you, and then you thought it might be able to help other people. Am I hearing you right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So what are some of the biggest challenges that companies are facing today with BI?
Well, I think it's definitely a multifaceted problem, but there are three challenges in BI that I think stand out. Number one is delivering ROI, two is driving data literacy, and three would be governance. So, delivering ROI is one that seems probably most elusive to most organizations. But we know that successful BI relies on having the right data to support business use cases that really move the needle, because you never want to be, caught spending time, using company resources to build a science project. And it's also equally important to clearly define, communicate, align, and evangelize these KPIs that you're using to measure these BI initiatives. And the second point about data literacy, that's another area that's made it really difficult to deploy things like self-service analytics. There are, a lot of BI tools that are out there with varying degrees of user friendliness, and many of them now with AI enhancements. But one of the bottlenecks to adoption is people's comfort with basic analytics, right? Especially around interpreting results. So even if you do have a company that's been able to deliver some measure of data ROI and has enabled a more data literate workforce, then there's a problem of governance. What do you do with the proliferation of redundant reports and data sets and tools and teams? Like, how do you speed up the delivery of data to consumers who now have more sophisticated data needs? So this is where Spectio comes in.
No one, what did you say? No one wants to have a science, no one wants to create a science project in the company's time and money. That,
Exactly, but that
that
happens a lot.
that happens all that happens a great deal. Your website says cross-functional BI collaboration. That's a really big words. But what's it really mean for business as a whole? Like, what's the nitty-gritty? What's the bottom line for that?
Yeah, so it's really about addressing that translation layer to enable business and data users to really easily collaborate and align on business requirements, data requirements, definitions, and these outputs. Gartner last year, they published their 2023 Magic Quadrant on analytics and BI, in which they added an evaluation criteria for collaboration. And they defined it as enabling a broad spectrum of users to co-produce analytics outputs and to enable those organizations to make decisions with consensus.
So collaboration is a really core value for what you're doing, and having consensus and creating
Yes,
driven decisions really is kind of core to what Spectio does. Am I hearing you right?
exactly, exactly.
Okay. Okay. Well, like, so how, there's just all these different tools, these different platforms. There's always somebody creating something. You have new products, you have legacy products. It's all kinds of stuff. How will Spectio work with existing BI tools and platforms? It seems like that could be a challenge, or have you kind of solved for that?
Yeah, so Spectio really, you can think of it as a companion product to any BI solution that's out there. In fact, it actually drives better adoption of those tools. I think most BI tools solve for the how, but you can think of Spectio as solving for, communicating, documenting, and aligning on the why and the what around BI.
Okay. From a talent perspective, there are concerns about AI taking over jobs. It was interesting to me in 2022, we had 700 people speak at CDO Magazine conferences, and not one person mentioned the word Gen AI until the end of November 2022. 2023, it's like it's become a part of everyone's
Yeah.
vocabulary. Everybody is an expert with AI. And my question is, from a talent perspective, because there's a lot of different people discussing AI, and there's concerns about AI taking over jobs. How can you share some light on how AI is going to change the roles of a business analyst? Because I think that'd be interesting. And what advice do you have for them?
Yeah. So I think AI, if you're not working with AI, what are you doing these days, right? So if AI is the rocket ship to the moon and data is the fuel needed to get there, then business context really is the map, the roadmap. And so, we all know that AI excels at processing and presenting data, but it often falls short when it comes to interpreting results because good data-driven business decisions always require context. And we know that AI models are often limited by the data that they're trained on. So this is where domain expertise becomes a really critical asset. So I would say that business analysts can, number one, inform and guide the development of better data and better models. They can contextualize data outputs through the lens of real time and real life business impact, and then be able to follow up with the outcomes of these data driven business decisions to iteratively inform future analyses and actions. And finally, I think that data analysts can also repurpose their time and focus towards strategic value creation. This means that they can, number one, become problem definers, right? Rather than just being problem solvers, put your energy into figuring out what problems and challenges need to be solved. And then number two, this requires a deep understanding of business context, specifically needs and opportunities. And then in order to do that, analysts need to learn really to lean into cross-functional collaboration to improve outcomes for data and analytics initiatives, working with business stakeholders and their technical counterparts. So I would say overall, it's really about upskilling, what they know and really leaning into that domain expertise.
Uh, Deanna, congratulations on building a great business. You're one of those, I'd like to say, startups to watch in 2024 in the global data community. You have a really excellent company. You really serve a need in the marketplace. And it's exciting that you're getting some traction and momentum with your product. And I think most importantly, you're going to make it help companies make a difference with what they're doing. So congratulations to you on your business. And it's exciting to see somebody take a challenge, come up with a solution, and have a positive outcome for an organization. So congratulations to you, and thanks for being a part of the CDO Magazine global community. It's great to have you here today on as a part of the magazine.
Thank you so much, Steve. Really appreciate your time.
Okay, you have a nice day. Bye bye.
Thank you.